So, Srila Prabhu, who is very expert in coordinating Śrīla Prabhupāda's Katha, so we'll be walking us through this wonderful experience of hearing Śrīla Prabhupāda's nectar from the mouth of a pure devotee, our grand spiritual master, the preeminent Shiksha Guru of the entire International Society for Kṛṣṇa Consciousness, who took so much pains for all of us and gave this transcendental message of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, flooded the world with this divine holy name, with books, with Kṛṣṇa consciousness in so many forms, through holy name, through books, through prasadam, through devotees, through festivals, through morning program, temples, and then centers, and so many ways. We cannot ever repay the debt, but whatever little we can do is to feel, to be grateful for what we have received, and try our best in our own capacity to appreciate that and to share that. So Namaste Prabhu, thank you for your support in this wonderful service. I'll let you take us forward.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam, everyone. So we are going with our lecture series of Śrīla Prabhupāda, and the lecture for today is Devotees Don't Feel Suffering. So using our usual format, let's start the video, and then once the verse is narrated by Prabhupada and his disciples in the video, we will ourselves recite the verse and then go back to the lecture. Is that okay? So we'll get started then. Let me make sure I'm in the right setting. More share computer sound. Okay, I think we are good now.
Yeah, a very big.
Can you please turn the full screen, Prabhu, the presentation mode?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Engage constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities.
Madasraya katha mrishtya sinnanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naetan madgata chetasaha naetan.
So, yes. So the verse today is from the 3rd canto, 25th chapter, 23rd verse. Mad ashraya kata mrishta shrinvanti katayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitan mad gata chatesha. Would anybody like to the verse?
Mad ashraya kathamrishta shrinvanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividhastapa naitan madgata chetasaha.
Would you like to lead us with the synonyms and translation?
Let 2-3 devotees recite the verse, Prabhu. 2-3 Prabhus, 2-3 Matajis.
Yes.
Yes, please don't feel shy. Please, if you want to recite, this is the time to unmute and speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Madashraya katha mrishta shrunavanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividhas tapa naita madgata chetasaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Amish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Madashraya kathamrishta Sravanti katanti cha katayanti cha Tapanti vividhastapa Naitan madgata chetasa. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think Prabir Prabhu is trying to unmute. Please, Prabhuji, please go ahead. Okay, anybody else would like to recite?
Can recite, Prabhuji.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Mad asrayah kathamrishtah Shravanti kathayanti cha Tapanti vividastapa Naitan madgata chitasaha.
Very nice. Mataji,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can try.
please, Mataji.
Madashraya kathamrishtva Shunanvanti kathayanti cha Tapanti vividhastapa Naitan madgata chetasaha. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhu, I can try. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please.
Madashraya kathamrishta Srinvanti kathayanti cha Tapanti bibidastapa Noitan madgata chetasha. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go into the synonyms and translation. Anybody like to read this?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, please, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mad Ashrayah, about me. Kathatah, stories. Mrishtaha, delightful. Shanavanti, they hear. Kathayanti, they chant. Cha, and. Tapanti, inflict suffering. Vividaha, various. Tapaha, the material miseries. Do not. Etan, unto them. Madgata, fixed on me. Chetasah, their thoughts. May I read the translation?
Yeah,
Or
yes, please,
other
Mataji.
devotees will read?
You can read, Mataji.
Translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Śrīla Prabhupāda. G. Engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they are always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you
Mataji.
so much.
Shubhalas Prabhuji, should we have more devotees read, or can we go back to the lecture?
Let's go back.
Sure.
Yeah. Daily Sapa. Madashraya katha mrishtya Sinnanti kathayanti cha Tapanti vividhastapa Naitan madgata chetasaha. Naitan. Generally, people, they are suffering. There is nobody in the world, those who are materially engaged, can say boldly that I am not suffering. Is there anybody? I challenge anyone. Can anyone say that I am not suffering? So, everyone must be suffering. Why these anacin tablets are advertised? Painkiller. Because they are suffering. and not in this country, but in the Western countries, America, one takes at least 12 tablets daily for mitigating suffering. Tranquilizer, this, that, so many. They're advertised and they take. At last for sleeping. Because they are more advanced. We are less advanced, therefore we are satisfied only one tablet anacin. But they are not satisfied with one tablet. There are dozens of tablets. I have seen it. It is advertised in a subway, a train. So many tablets are advertised. Suffering must be there. Anyone who has got this material body has accepted suffering. That's a fact. But foolish people, they cannot understand. He thinks I have got very fatty and beautiful body. He is satisfied. The dog is also satisfied. He does not know that this dog's body is greater suffering than human body. The hawk's body is greater suffering than the human body. But everyone is thinking, I am happy. This is called Maya, illusion. You go to a hospital, a man is lying down on the bed, and if you are, how are you? Yes, I am well today. What is well? So there cannot be anyone without suffering. That is not possible. There are three kinds of suffering. Adhyatmic, adhibhautik, adhidaivik. Adhyatmic means pertaining to the body and mind. I have got headache today. I have got some pain here in the back. My mind is not very much settled today. I cannot talk with you. These kind of sufferings are called adhyatmic, pertaining to the body and the mind. And there are sufferings adhibhautik. Just like at night, unnecessarily, the dogs bark and we cannot sleep. This is called adhibhautik. Suffering imposed by other living entities. The mosquitoes, the bugs, then enemies, suffering. Just like some of our enemies, they are hindering, sanctioning this temple. So this is called adhibhautik. And besides that, big sufferings there are. Then adhidaivik, accident, which you have no control. No sufferings you have control. That is not possible. There is famine, there is pestilence, there is no rain, there is excessive heat, excessive cold. They are called adhidaivik. Earthquake, so many. So, this is the reminder that you rascal, you are thinking you are very happy in this material world. What you have done about these sufferings? Mura. They think this is all right, it doesn't matter. Besides that, there is very great sufferings, that is birth, death, old age and disease. So where is your happiness? But because we are under the spell of Maya, we are thinking this position is very nice. Let us enjoy life. This is their enjoyment. So, one has to tapanti vividha stapa. Vividha, multi. Vividha means many. Tapanti vividha stapa na etan madhagata chetasaha. Those who are Kṛṣṇa conscious, we cannot say that they are not suffering. They are suffering, but not so acutely. They know Therefore, we have begun these sadhus symptoms, titiksava, tolerant. Everyone is tolerant. One has to tolerate. But a sadhu's toleration and ordinary man's toleration is different. Sadhu's toleration is not so acute because a sadhu knows that he is not this body. There is a Bengali Vaishnava song, Deha smriti nahi jaar, samsar bandhan kahan tar. If you understand properly that I am not this body, then although there is suffering, you will not feel very much. Although we are now absorbed with this body, bodily sufferings are there. Just like the example that you have got a car and there is some accident. So one who is too much absorbed with the thought that this is my car or I am car, he suffers more. But if one knows that I am not this car, all right, there is some accident, it can be repaired or it can be, that doesn't matter. It is a question of absorption of the thought. The materialistic person, because they are like animal, he suffers more. And for the devotees, as it is advised in the Bhagavad-Gita, Matra sparshāstu kaunteya srītosna sukha dukkada. Agama apainya anitya tang titikkhasa bharat. Kṛṣṇa says to Arjuna that these material sufferings are just like the sufferings of seasonal suffering. In summer season also you suffer, and in winter season also you suffer. Shītosna sukha dukkada. And the same thing, this fire, in summer season it is suffering, the heat is suffering. And in the winter season the same fire is pleasing. Similarly, water in the winter season is suffering, but in the summer season it is pleasing. The same water, the same fire, sometimes it is suffering, sometimes it is pleasing, but the matter is the same. Why? Matra sparsa. It is due to the touch of the skin. Because we have got the skin disease, I am this body, therefore you are suffering. Because you have become so nonsense rascal that I am this body. Jasyātu buddhi kunape tidhātuke. Tidhātuke, this is the bag of three elements, kapha, pitta, vayu. Kapha, pitta, vayu. According to Ayurvedic system, they are called three dhātu. So this body is made of material elements, kapha, pitta, vayu. So jasyātu buddhi kunapeti dhātuke sadhik kalatra disubhoma ijjadhi jat tirtha buddhi salilena karhichi janesu avignya sayava gokhar. So the more we are in bodily concept of life, the suffering is more. Nowadays, new things have developed, nationalism, communism, communalism, so many things. Sufferings are more. We have seen in 1947 in Calcutta, Hindu-Muslim riot. The more suffering, because one is thinking, I am Hindu, one is thinking, I am Muslim. But if one is advanced in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, then they will not suffer. They will not unnecessarily fight because I am Hindu, because you are Muslim, that we have to fight. No, Because if both of them know that I am not this body, therefore I am neither Hindu nor Muslim, I am eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa, then where is the suffering of Hindu-Muslim life? The understanding is missing. Because people are being educated to become more bodily conscious, therefore their sufferings are increasing. Sufferings are increasing. And if you reduce this bodily concept of life, then suffering also will be reduced. So those who are Kṛṣṇa conscious means, here it is said, madgata cetasa. Nityam madgata cetasa. Madgata, Bhagavan said, those who are always thinking of in the mind, within the heart, madgata cetasa, they are not suffering. They are not suffering in this way because they know that even if I am suffering, it is Krishna's desire. So they welcome. Just like Kunti. Queen Kunti, when Kṛṣṇa was departing, taking farewell from Kunti, so Kunti said, my dear Kṛṣṇa, when we are in full of danger, at that time you are always present as our friend, as our advisor. Now we are well situated, we have got our kingdom, we are well established, so you are going away to Dwarka? No, this is not good. Better we may again go to that suffering so that we can remember you always. So the devotee sometimes welcome suffering because that is an opportunity of remembering Kṛṣṇa very constantly. Tattenu kampa susamikṣamana bhunjana eva kritam vipaka. So when a devotee suffers, he thinks that it is due to my past misdeeds. So I am suffering not very much, very little on account of Kṛṣṇa's grace. So it doesn't matter. So after all it is everything in the mind, suffering and enjoying. So if the devotee's mind is trained down in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, therefore he does not care for suffering. That is the difference between a devotee and non-devotee. Therefore it is said that tapanti vividhastapa naetan madgata cetasa. That's like Prahlāda Maharaj. So how much suffering he had to undergo. A 5-year-old boy, and his father was putting in danger, sometimes under the feet, leg of the elephant, sometimes throwing from the mountain, sometimes on burning oil, sometimes among the snakes, and so many ways. But he was silent. Haridas Thakur was a Mohammedan by birth. So he became a very good devotee and always chanting Hare Krishna. That was his fault. So the Muslim Qazi called him that you are Mohammedan, you born in a such great family, Mohammedan family, and you are chanting Hindus Hare Krishna mantra. What is this? So he mildly replied, my dear sir, there are many Hindus, they also have become Mohammedan. So suppose I have become Hindu, so what is the wrong? What is wrong there? So Kaji became very angry that you are talking before me, all right. So he was punished to be caned in 22 bazaar, in front of 22 bazaar. That means he has to be killed by caning. So it is understood when he was bitten by the cane, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on his back, so he did not feel any suffering. So, there are many instances. A devotee had to suffer many sufferings, but they did not take it very much severely. They tolerated, and a devotee is educated to tolerate. Therefore, in the sadhu's symptoms beginning, the titikṣava karunika, a devotee suffers, at the same time he is very kind to these conditioned souls, how to elevate them, how to make them Kṛṣṇa conscious. This is karunika. These are the very primary features of a devotee's life. People put him into suffering in so many ways, but he does not give up his job. His job is to spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness so that others may become happy. Just like Prahlāda Maharaj said, "Oh, my Lord, I have no suffering. I have no suffering. Because I know the art, how to become happy. Tad vijja gayana amritamagna chitya." The same thing is described here. Sinnanti kathayanti. Prahlāda Maharaj said that I know how to become happy. How to become happy? That's simply hearing about you and chanting about you. Sinnanti kathayanti. Just like here, two businesses going on. You are hearing and I am speaking. Bodhantang parasparam mahatmana sumang prartha daivi pragiti mas. Bhajanti. This bhajan means sinnanti, kathayanti, savanam kirtanam Vishnu. This is bhajan. You simply hear about the Lord, you talk about the Lord, that is bhajan. Savanam, then you can further make progress. Savanam kirtanam Vishnu. Savanam kirtanam is going on all over the world. Some is hearing about some politician, other is speaking about some politician or some other man, some important man in the society. Savanam kirtanam is going on. But they are suffering. But when the Savanam Kirtanam is pertaining to Vishnu, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu, then he will not be suffering. This is there. It requires experience. It requires advancement. Then, Prahlāda Maharaj, as he says, tad vijja gayana maha amritamagna chitta. Because my mind is always absorbed in talking about him and hearing about him. Therefore, I am not unhappy. I know how to become happy. But you seem to be very unhappy. So he says, yes, I am unhappy because I see this tato vimukha cetasa maya sukhaya bharamud bhato vimuna. These foolish people, simply for temporary so-called happiness, they are engaged in material activities. I am thinking of them only. That is my unhappiness. Otherwise, I have no unhappiness. So this devotional service, this line of action is so nice that if we practice, if we make advance, then even in this material world, staying, there will be no more suffering. That is called Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means, although he is in this body, but he is not suffering the bodily miserable condition. It is a question of absorption of thought. I have read in some paper that Mr. Stalin, the communist leader, he had to undergo a surgical operation of operating on the belly. The doctor wanted to, what is called chloroform, but he said, no, there is no need. You can go on with your operation. So even in ordinary life it is possible. Because the mind is absorbed in a different way, even a surgical operation does not disturb a man. Similarly, what to speak of spiritual life, if your mind is always absorbed in Kṛṣṇa thought, Kṛṣṇa consciousness, that is stated, Madhgata cetasa, always thinking of Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa advises also. What is his advice? Malvana bhava madhvakta, madhyaji mang namaskuru. If you always think of me, there are many instances, if we believe, there is another, if you don't believe, there is another. But there is practical also, that these boys, European American boys, from their childhood, then from their birth, they are accustomed to so many bad habits. But for want of those bad habits, they think it is impossible to live. Not only ordinary man, I will tell you the story of one very big man, the Marquis of Jetland. The Marquis of Jetland was talking with one of my god brother, the Lord, they are called Lord. He asked, can you make me Brahmin? So my god brother said, yes, it is not very difficult. If you give up these bad habits, intoxication, illicit sex life, meat eating and gambling, you can become a Brahmin. So he said, it is impossible. Yeah, a very big man. He said, it is impossible, this is our life. Actually, we have got experience in the Western countries. This is their life. Even very, very old men, they cannot give up this. For want of this, it is a great suffering. But here you see practically these young boys, young girls, they have given up. There is no suffering. Take practical example. An old man, a very respectable gentleman, he was requested to give up this 4 habits. He replied, it is impossible. How it is becoming possible for these boys? If they would have suffered for want of this illicit sex, intoxication, the boys and girls, then how they could remain with me? I am not a very rich man, I cannot give them nice shelter, I cannot give them nice food. But why? Because they are not feeling. They have no furniture, they are lying down on the floor, no bedding, no proper cloth. Because they are not suffering actually, otherwise they could not remain with me. This is a fact. If they would have suffered, then like Lord Jetland, they would have also said, it is impossible to remain with Prabhupada. But they are not saying that. They are suffering from disease also, still they are not living. They are not living. So Kṛṣṇa consciousness is so nice. Madhgata, they do not feel any suffering. It is practical. Others, they feel suffering. Therefore it is said, tapanti vividastapa naetan madgata cetasa. Naetan. Therefore we should accept this. What is that? Madasraya katha. Katha, Kṛṣṇa katha. There are so many literatures, especially Bhagavad Gita. That is open to everyone. Everyone knows Bhagavad Gita. So, if we simply hear Bhagavad Gita, we can attain this stage of perfection, no more suffering. That is a fact. So, just like Ambarish Maharaj, he made his life. Savai mana Kṛṣṇa padara vindayo, bācānsi vaikunṭha gunānu varnan. He was a very responsible king, emperor of this world, and he was administering his kingdom. At the same time, he was a great devotee. These are the examples in this country. There are many kings like that. They are called Rajarsi. Therefore in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, imang vivassati yugam praktavana hamabhayam Manu ikha kavi bravit, vivashan maname praho, manu ikha kavi bravit, evang parampara praptam imang rajarsayo vid. Rajarsi, the kings were, although they are king, Raja, still they were as good as the great saintly person, Rishi. So Maharaj Ambarish, he was also a Rajarsi. He gave example, although he was busy in his administration work, still he was talking only of Kṛṣṇa. Only. Savai mana Kṛṣṇa padarvindayo vācāṅsi vaikuṇṭha gunārvan. Whenever you talk, he'll talk about Kṛṣṇa. This required practice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised all his devotees, Gramma katha na kohive. This is called advancement. Don't talk nonsense of these material talks. What is the use? What you will gain? Just like you open the newspaper, what do you find? The same thing. The same plane crash, the same politician condemn another politician, and something lost, something gained, something. It is puna chadvita charma. The same thing are being repeated in different way. So, what is the use of talking such thing? Better, if you want to talk on Kṛṣṇa, talk on Bhagvata, talk on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and enjoy life. That is required. That is recommended here. Madhāsraya katha mrishta sinnanti kathayanti cha. If you simply talk about Kṛṣṇa and hear about Kṛṣṇa, then that stage will come when there will be no more suffering. Always. Anandamaya abhyasat. This is called Anandamaya in the Vedanta Sutra. A living entity or Kṛṣṇa, they are Anandamaya. Prachurji mat pratta. Simply Ananda. When you are in pleasure, transcendental bliss, there will be no more possibility of this material suffering. That is instructed here. Madhāsraya katha mrishta sinnanti kathayanti cha tapanti vividhastapa na etam madgata. Madgata antaratmana. There is also another statement in the Bhagvata. Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana. There are many yogis, but that yogi who is thinking of Kṛṣṇa always, manmana bhava madbhakta, madgata antaratmana, samejuktatam. In my opinion, that he is the first class yogi, not to show any magic. Magic, that is magic. That if he does not suffer from any suffering, that is the greatest magic. But that will be done by a devotee. And Kṛṣṇa also recommends. So, our life should be, this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is being spread only for this purpose. What is this? Sinnanti kathayanti cha. Madhāsraya katha mrishta. When we shall feel pleasure by hearing about Kṛṣṇa, talking about Kṛṣṇa, we must know that we are making progress on the path of perfection. And at that time, any kind of this material suffering will not be felt. This is the practice.
Hare Krishna. Hope everybody liked the wonderful class by Śrīla Prabhupāda. We are so fortunate that devotees have uploaded his voice and also the transcripts so that we can take advantage and listen to Prabhupada. So many wonderful references Prabhupada gives. So anybody has any comments, or can we go into our reflection section? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
This morning only, morning's class, Jyoti Mataji recited the sloka number 65 from chapter 18, and in the next class we are discussing. This is really wonderful.
Yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita shloka.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice reflection. So anybody knows where this is coming in the Bhagavatam? Like chapter 3, chapter 25 in Canto 3. So this comes here where Kardama Muni is. Sorry, go ahead. Anybody would like to say? So it's the glories of devotional service that Kardama Muni is telling Mother Devahuti. Okay. Anybody like to elaborate on that? Kapila Dev is telling his mother Devahuti. Kardama Muni is the father of Kapila Dev. And Kardama Muni left his home and entrusted his mom Devahuti with his son Kapila Dev, who is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are hearing the instructions of the Lord himself about devotional service in this verse. Anybody wants to say anything about this part of the Bhagavatam? Okay, let's go into the question answer session. Sorry. Oh, I can't. I can type if I present. So let's just go here. So Prabhupada says in the beginning of the lecture why that nobody's without suffering. So why is that? Can anybody say?
Prabhuji, because we think that we are the body, so that's why.
Yes, very nice. So because we are the body, why is there suffering? We think we are the body.
Happy Halloween. Morning.
So let's Prabhu, if you want me to navigate the screen, to support you.
Okay, Prabhuji, just one second. Okay, so Bhagavati Mataji wonderfully said, we think we are the body, hence there is suffering, and we know in the material world is full of suffering because of different aspects. So let's go into the next question. Prabhupada says about Maya. So what is Maya?
It's an illusion.
So can you explain what illusion is?
That we think that we are happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, so Prabhupada mentions if you ask anybody, then they'll say, oh, I'm well, I'm good. But everybody is not happy because they're all suffering. So Maya, like the definition is that which is not. So we think we are something, but we are not that. Anybody like to add anything to that? Prabhupada mentions about the 3 kinds of suffering. We always go through this, just want to revise myself. So anybody like to say what are the 3 kinds of suffering?
Adhyatmic.
Adi Devis, Adi Bhautik.
Yes.
Anybody like to give the definitions of that?
Adhyatmic is our mind and body when it gives suffering, like.
And And Adi Bhautika is basically suffering imposed by others.
Okay. And
Adidvibik is a natural disaster in which you do not have any control.
Very nice. Okay. So Prabhupada mentions that devotees are not suffering acutely. So he mentions that devotees are suffering, but not acutely suffering. Can anybody say why there is suffering and then why they're not acutely?
Can I say, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
So devotees are absorbed in Krishna, as well as they know that they're not the body. So that's why that they suffers, but it's not that acute.
When we engage our mind in, just like in the verse, in the wonderful name, pastimes of the Lord, we don't feel suffering. And because we are embodied or we have a body, there are material sufferings, but doesn't affect the devotee so much.
Prabhupada quoted a verse on this, Deha smritir nahiya sansara bandhana. One who is above the bodily conception does not feel. So more spiritual we are, less suffering we will experience.
Sorry, just Prabhuji, what is that? So verse number, Prabhuji, do you remember?
It's not from Bhagavad Gita, and we call the verse number. It's from some of the Upanishads. Deha smritir.
Oh,
Deha means body. Smritir nahiya. One who does not consider oneself as the body. That Deha smritir nahiya. Sansara bandhan. The bondage of material world does not exist for such a person.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, Prabhupada also mentioned that when we take shelter of Lord also save us, and he gave the example of Srila Haridas Thakur. When he was being beaten in the 22 markets, actually Mahaprabhu was on his back. And Mahaprabhu, during his prakash, he showed Haridas Thakur and everybody that he had a beaten mark in the back. So Prabhupada mentioned that Lord also take care of that.
Yes, Prabhuji, very nice. Excellent. And also he mentioned about Prahlad Maharaj. Yes, anybody else?
And Prabhuji, the term they use for such devotees, it was Jivan Mukta. Those who take sufferings only for the bodies.
Very nice.
And I think one more point was that they are so tolerant. So we are tolerant, then the suffering will naturally minimize. But if I keep complaining, then even a tiny suffering will appear like a mountain.
Very nice point, Prabhuji. So can there be happiness on earth? Prabhupada mentions about Ananda,
Only if it is related to Lord Vishnu, then it's going to be happiness. Otherwise, nothing will be.
Prabhuji, Anandamaya Abhyas, when we reach on the transcendental bliss, we feel pleasure by hearing and talking about Krishna.
There's a famous Prabhupada pastime in this regard, and Prabhupada named Bhavananda Das to the Bhavananda Prabhu. So they were thinking, well, Bhavasagar is full of problems. Dukhalyam Shashvatam. How can the Bhava Ananda? How can there be Ananda in this Bhava? And then Prabhupada mentioned that there is only one Ananda, to share Krishna consciousness with others, or to be Krishna conscious, to, as Mataji said, to hear, chant, etc. And I think Prahlad Maharaj also said that devotee is unhappy to see the fallen situation of others, but when he sees others taking to Krishna consciousness, he's very happy.
So Prabhupada mentions a few analogies about a car, water in summer and fire in winter. Anybody like to speak about that?
Well, I think he he mentions the heat and cold. For instance, I'm living here in Florida, and I remain here throughout the year. And yeah, it is hot during the summer, and winter is very nice. But there are people who come from the north who come here only in the winter and then go away back in the summer. So they're just trying to adjust. It doesn't matter where they are. They're going to be suffering of some form or the other. So you might as well stay here and take all the things that come along with it. That's the best solution. So it's that kind of thing in the mind that's just called always the heat and the cold, and those things are always there no matter where you are.
Very nice. So about the car. Prabhupada mentions about the car getting into an accident. And the person who's too attached would say, "Oh, I got hit," and is lamenting a lot. When the person inside the car is safe, still if something happened to the car, that person is lamenting as if something happened to him. So that was one example of how we consider ourselves like the body. So any bodily discomfort, we think it is a suffering for us.
He also mentions, gives the example of Stalin, who had a surgery, and because it's so much, all that pain and everything, he's able to absorb it without getting this chloroform or whatever it was. So that's another example of because it's all in the mind. If we can control the mind and get into Krishna consciousness, then our external the material sufferings will feel less of it.
Very nice point, Prabhuji. So Prabhupada mentions Stalin, who is a materialist, if he can tolerate the pain of the body, what to speak of a person who is spiritually absorbed, nothing will affect that person. Okay. Why is suffering more in the bodily concept of life, similar to what we mentioned? So Prabhupada mentions about capitalism, communism, socialism. So today, most people, they follow one of these isms and think they found a purpose in life, but it's just getting them entangled in more suffering. Anybody like to add anything else on this? Prabhupada mentioned about Rajrishi. Do you remember who he was talking about?
Ambarish Maharaj.
Very nice. And why is he Rajrishi, Mataji? Do you?
Because being such a king, he was always engaged in the hearings and the discussions of Lord, and he had the qualities of Rishi. Although surrendered by so much of opulences and wealth, he was as humble and as bearing all the qualities of Rishi.
Yes, Mother. Very nice. And we also know that Ambarish Maharaj engaged all his senses in the service of the Lord. So even the 9 limbs of bhakti, we say each.
He is the ideal example.
Yes.
Vishnu Shvaranam, Prabhuji, the example of Ambarish Maharaj, complete absorption.
No, Smaranam is Prahlad Maharaj, Mataji. And
Okay.
Ambarish Maharaj actually is the best in all of them.
Oh.
He did all 9. Okay. Prabhupada mentioned about Gramyakata na kahibe. Do you know what that means?
Gramyakata means, Prabhuji, any gossip. Do not talk about any mundane stuff.
Yes, very nice, Mataji. Prabhupada mentions that it's the same thing said over and over again. He also quoted a verse. I think it's Canto 7, 4th chapter, 35, if I'm not mistaken. He mentioned that it's the same thing over and over. People are just talking. It doesn't give us anything other than suffering, just wasting our time.
Puna Shavana Charbitam, Prahlad Maharaj was saying.
Very nice. Chewing the chewed. Okay. Last question. So what is the practical example Prabhupada states about no suffering for devotees? He mentioned two persons, so Lord Zetland and young American boys and girls. So can anybody recollect the stories about both of these examples?
That Lord was not able to give up the 4 regulations. I mean, even though he was a very intelligent person, he was learned, but he was not able to give up those things. At the same time, Prabhupada's disciple, I mean, they were born with some of the things with so much opulent, and but they gave up. But Prabhupada didn't give them money, or he couldn't even give them the nice shelter. But Prabhupada was giving the example that they were lying in the floor, sharing same room, but they were tolerating everything.
Very nice one, Prabhuji. Anybody has any other points from this lecture they want to bring up and discuss?
Prabhuji, I just would like to, I like Kunti Matarani's example when she said that Krishna, please, when they got everything and Krishna was leaving, then Kunti Matarani says, you stay and stay back, and we can again want to get those sufferings so that we can get you constantly. So devotees sometimes wants like continuous suffering to remember Krishna all the time. That was Prabhupada was telling in his beautiful lecture. So I like that point, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nice point, Mataji. That's a very, very high level where all she thinks about is thinking about Krishna, and she's asking for more suffering. Great point. Anybody else? Any other points?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that Sri Prabhupada, he has a great voice for lecturing, and it really comes out very nice. And he also gives very lifelike examples which illustrate the point. I think there's many are quite humorous also. So yeah, you always enjoy his lectures. Thank you.
Yes, very, very nice lecture. Prabhupada's lectures are so simple and we can absorb completely in his lecture. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. You have.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, Mataji, please.
No, please, you first finish, then I'll.
No, I was just saying that.
And one point in the last Prabhupada's.
Go ahead, Mataji. We are just, because of the delay, we are just talking about each other. Please go ahead.
I'm so sorry, G. The only point which I wanted to mention is like, which really instructed that time it hit me was, Prabhupada mentioned that when we find pleasure in hearing and talking about Krishna, so it is a sign that we are progressing in our spiritual life. It's a sign of advancement. So this is wonderful.
Excellent point, Mataji. No. This is really helpful that we are all together and discussing. We can all the points that we all get inspired from. Thank you, Mataji. And earlier I was just going to say that Raghu Prabhuji and Bhaswati Mataji, they really liked the lecture and like Prabhupada, so they have their mind in the right place, and their liking is perfect, because that shows that they're coming to the right source, where Prabhupada actually transformed the whole world with just by himself, his lectures and his kirtan. Okay. Any other point anybody like to add?
Yes, Prabhuji. So it's a very nice topic, suffering. So all of us don't need any introduction to suffering. So we're all suffering in different ways. So what I really liked about, Prabhupada's points was that when the mind, gets drawn to material things, then inevitably, because of the nature of the impermanence of material things, we get disappointed. And the more we expect from things, happiness or material things, then we get more and more disappointed. And so basically suffering increases. So when we lift our attention to divine things, and to spiritual things, then we are taking the attention away from material and moving to the spiritual realm, the more permanent, eternal realm. And so we get disconnected from the material or temporary happiness, and we're looking for a more eternal happiness. And so one thing I really liked was that even devotees, we're not completely immune from suffering, because we're not able to completely detach from material thinking. So it's shifting our attention or thoughts from the material realm to spiritual realm, which is easier said than done, because in our present circumstance, we have to spend some part of our time taking care of existential and survival things. We have to keep our job, for example. So we can't completely become Jivan Muktas, but we should strive, and that will reduce, suffering. So that is a great, it's like stress reduction, basically. I really liked that aspect, So bhakti is the easiest path, as they say, towards that goal, ultimate goal. So I really liked that aspect also.
Very nice, Prabhuji. There's so many points. That was a lecture in itself. Thank you so much for summarizing and summing everything up so well for us. Anything else? Prabhuji, please, if you'd like to take over, I think that concludes this session, the lecture. Shubhilash Prabhuji, you're on mute.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu, I was to take care of something. So thank you to all the Vaishnavas. Thank you, Amsivilas Prabhu, for nicely facilitating this. So let's 3 times we'll say Haribol for Amsivilas Prabhu for helping us to go through this and chant 3 times. Haribol. Haribol.
Haribol.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.
Damodar ki
Jai.
Damodar ki
Jai.
Kartik Maas ki
Jai.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Krishna.